what a day! What a lovely day!
Hey guys, I'm Kevin,
I'm Jake.
and this is Movie Matters. We're continuing this month with our common favorites, Jake and I, with one of, honestly, my all-time favorite movies in general, Mad Max Fury Road from 2015, George Miller. I am obsessed with this movie. Again, I think it's one of the best movies ever made. It's so badass, and it's so simple at the same time. And, yeah, it's fucking sick. Jake, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I totally agree. Like it's a masterpiece, and like I mean, you and I like it because we like action movies, and like I could see why someone maybe is just like, this is like a lot, you know. But like even if you disregard like the amount of like just pure like adrenaline pumping action and stuff, like this movie is like impeccable technically, and it's like so wild for being a summer blockbuster action movie. Like it is so impeccable. It's like
so
really it's really wild.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool facts I found on this movie. I watched some of the bonus features, but I want to talk about the trailer. So we obviously watch the trailer before every movie, and I remember seeing this trailer when it came out, and I want to talk to you about this, Jake, but I'll get to it in a little bit. I had seen the other Mad Max movies. I'd seen all of them, but I barely remembered them. I remember watching Thunderdome in my history class in high school, and that was awesome. But I remember seeing the trailer for this movie and being like, that looks so weird and so different. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I'm going to go see it. And I saw it with a couple buddies, and I remember getting out of that theater being like, holy shit, that was insane and so awesome. And yeah, I mean, I'm getting chills thinking about that moment. And like, I mean, every time I watch this movie, and I've watched it a lot since it's come out, since 2015, every time I watch this movie, I'm still like, this movie's amazing. So it holds up so well on rewatch, each rewatch, and I love it. But what I was going to ask you, Jake, is, what have you seen the other three movies?
So I've seen the first one. I've seen bits of the second and third one. These were also movies that my younger brother was obsessed with, and like he would watch them, like the AMC TiVo recordings, like all the time. And like, you know, it was like one of those things where I'd like walk into the room, it would be like 45 minutes into the movie, and I'd be like, I don't want to start watching it now, and I'd leave, and then I just never like sat down and watched them, you know, for myself. Other than the first one, I did watch all the way through. And like, yeah, I don't know why I just never watched the other two, even though I know that they're like supposed to be, you know, really good as well.
What do you think of the first one? I'm just curious.
I mean, it's weird. And not as weird as Fury Road, but like it's just like it's a really different kind of concept. I mean, it's a dystopian movie, which isn't that weird, but it's like, I mean, Fury Road does this too, but like it just kind of chucks you into this world, and you're just supposed to roll with it. You know, like there's like no explanation of anything, and like, but like, I mean, in Fury Road, in my opinion, that's kind of the beauty of it, is like you're just like immersed from the very first like scene, and then it's just like you just gotta go. Like
Yeah, kind of similar to Inception, how we talked about that in our
Yeah.
last review, how it's like you're thrown right into it, and you're meant to believe that this type of technology exists in terms of dream invasion and stuff like that, versus, you know, this movie's kind of similar, where it gives you that kind of brief narration at the beginning to give you a little bit
a
of
little
synopsis.
context, but yeah.
Yeah, but this movie is all gas, no brakes, and that's
Yeah.
what I love about it. Like, there's very little times that this movie is just like, all right, let me take off the gas, off the accelerator a little bit, because it's
Well, like
just
a
full
little past halfway through, it like lulls, and then immediately like kicks back up into another chase that
Yeah.
lasts until the very end. So
It's
yeah,
so good. There's a cool one of the producers, I believe, or even stunt guys, was like, "This movie is all about a chase, and then it becomes a race," which is
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah, so I mean, there's so much to love about this movie. There's so much trivia I wrote down. But with this movie, I tried to not do a ton of notes because I just love this movie so much and want to just sit and enjoy it. And I'm sure that's what's going to happen with the next two movies we do. As it basically did, I did the same thing with Inception. I didn't do my normal note taking, but this movie. So yeah, I actually think the first movie is kind of boring. I don't love the first movie from Mad
compared
Max.
to this, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's kind of the hard part is if you watch this movie and then you go back and watch the other ones, you're like, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks.
Like the Road Warrior was like 77 or something like that.
It's 81, I thought.
No, I thought it
79.
was
79 is when the first
okay.
one came out. Pull them up.
Yeah, I mean, like, and like, I'm pretty sure it was like super low budget.
The first one was extremely low budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, 79 for the first one, 81 for the second one, 85 for the third, and then 2015 for this one, obviously. Yeah, I don't love the first one. It's very different. It's kind of slow to me, but it's not bad. It's like, again, it's for its
It's
low
an
budget,
interesting
it's-
movie, but yeah.
The second one's great, super well done. The third one is odd but really fun. It's like kind of two movies in one, which kind of makes it iffy, but it's still a fun movie because it's all about like kids and stuff, kind of. But I highly recommend them. They're enjoyable to watch. But this one just shits on all of them, and it's so sick. And George Miller is known for these movies. I mean, that's how he became to fame, is because of Mad Max. And the idea for this movie occurred when, in like 1998, he had this idea. He was like walking in an intersection in L.A. And like he literally just was like, oh, like I want to make this big chase, and there's women involved, and he just kind of had this idea. It's really cool if you watch kind of the behind the scenes from Fury Road. He talks about it and how he came up with it. And then a year later, he was on a flight from Australia to Los Angeles, which is kind of funny because it's like, isn't that the longest flight? And they talk, that's Inception, Sydney to
It's
LA,
yeah,
like,
I think so.
right?
Yeah,
So that's another weird kind of parallel between the movies we watch. It's like his idea for this movie happened on that plane. The Inception happened on
Yeah.
that plane. So that's pretty funny. But he just was like, the movies, like his idea was violent marauders fighting over people, humans, not oil, not water, not goods, but humans. And that's kind of the main genesis of his idea that stuck. And the film was set to shoot in 2001 through 20th Century Fox, but got delayed because of 9/11, the September 11th attacks in the U.S. And then the American dollar collapsed against the Australian dollar, and the budget went crazy. So there was like a couple times they tried to make the movie and it failed. So then he moved on to Happy Feet, which I've never seen, the Penguin animation movie.
yeah.
And what's funny is this movie is his first, he hadn't made a live action film since Babe, Pig in the City, which is pretty funny. Like going from those movies to this is
Yeah.
wild. And then basically it just, their production was going to begin in 2011 and in Australia, and there was crazy monsoonal rains that flooded the land, and because of this, like crazy like vegetation grew, and like all this green, beautiful like plant life grew, and he's like, well, that's not a wasteland where everything's dry. So they postponed it again, and then it was moved to Namibia in Africa, and that's where it's shot. So pretty crazy that it took from 1998 to 2015 to get the movie out and really like made and produced and
Yeah.
you know. But there's tons of crazy things about this movie. It's Rotten Tomatoes' best scoring film of 2015, which is wild. I had no idea.
I mean, it's not super surprising, but
But a lot of movies, a lot of good movies, like similar to 2010 with Inception.
Yeah.
A lot of great movies kind of came out in 2015. The Revenant came out in 2015.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of the movie that this competed with at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
for like almost every category.
Yes. Yes. It's crazy. This movie, Revenant was nominated for like 12 Oscars, I think, and this was nominated for 10.
Yeah. Wild.
But it was also the biggest winner of the night.
Yeah.
And it was not nominated for any acting categories.
Which
But
is crazy, but
Yeah, I don't think the acting's amazing, but like it's cool. But like that fact alone is like most movies that win Oscars are like acting, you know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
got every accolade that it
well, I
nominated
mean,
for.
The Revenant is like an Oscar bait movie. Like it's
Oscar bait. Yep.
Yeah.
Which I've been wanting to rewatch that movie, and that's another
not
Tom
to
Hardy
say.
film.
I mean, it's a good movie, but I mean, it's a, you know, it's
yeah.
a long, like, you know, kind of like solo movie. Like, you know, it's
Yeah.
very like, I mean, it's like, it's not really a biopic, but it has that kind of like feel about it, you know.
Yep.
So
Yeah. I mean, this movie won 6 Oscars out of the 10 it was nominated for, which is crazy. It won for editing, it won for costume design, makeup and hairstyle, sound mixing, and production design. Like, all well deserved, obviously.
it didn't get visual effects?
No.
What? Jeez.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But another great movie that came out that year did get visual effects, and the visual effects in that movie are incredible. Ex Machina. You ever seen it?
Oh, okay.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. That movie won. So,
That's okay.
it's, I mean, that year, the movie Spotlight got Best Picture, which that's a very Oscar bait movie.
Yeah.
The Revenant won for Best Cinematography, which how this movie didn't win
That's
for cinematography.
That's BS. This movie absolutely should have won for cinematography.
Yes and no. I mean, Emmanuel Lubezki did the Revenant, and he is a phenomenal cinematographer, and that movie is incredibly shot.
I mean, I say like, yes, like it is like a
I
very
know, but
very
we-
well made
we
movie,
like
but
this
like
movie better.
You're talking about like, I don't know. I don't want to get like really pretentious, but like you're talking about like well shot documentary versus like an art piece in
Yeah.
Fury Road. You know,
I get
like
what you're saying. Yeah, politics. I mean, other movies that came out this year: The Big Short, The Martian, The Hateful Eight,
Oh.
Sicario, Star Wars Episode 8, Force Awakens, like huge movies. And those were all, prevalent at the Oscars. Pretty crazy. Another stacked year. I mean, Sicario is, again, Denis Villeneuve. He's my all-time favorite director. I mean, that movie's insane. It's so good. The Martian, Ridley Scott, super entertaining, really well-done movie. But speaking of visual effects, over 80% of the effects seen in the movie are practical.
yeah,
So we talked about that in our last season with our 80s movies, and even with Inception. Very practical stunts, very practical effects. This movie has that. The stunts, the makeups, the sets, all of that are all done practically. Like CGI was used sparingly, mainly to enhance the Namibian landscape, to remove stunt rigging, like wires and stuff like that, and for Furiosa's fake arm.
yeah.
Like that's it. And what's crazy is this movie looks so fucking awesome.
Well,
It
I mean,
almost looks fake.
another example of 10-year-old CGI technology that looks way better than anything that's being put out right now.
Agreed.
It's like, it's so ridiculous to me
Yeah.
that like CGI has, like, did everybody who knew how to make CGI retire? Like, I don't understand like what happened, or they're all just lazy now. I don't know. It's just like so strange to me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's like you brought up Furiosa's arm. Like, you can't even tell
No.
in most scenes. Like, there's like one or two times where like there's like a little like bit of like a little glitchy thing, like if you're really paying attention. But like maybe once, you know? Like, I mean, it's amazing, like some of the stuff that they did do with CGI. Like, even like the storm sequence, like, looks incredible. Like,
Oh,
and like
yeah.
everything about it, like even like the like real cars with like the CGI storm is like seamless, like integration. It's pretty amazing.
So, speaking of the cars, 150 cars were built for this movie, and they're all practical, fully functioning vehicles. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And like when they started production, you know, when they've started and stopped multiple times, they had cars like built basically in Australia, and they had to basically chop them all apart and get rid of them, and then they were rebuilding them again, and then they had to ferry them basically, or like put them on a boat to go from Australia to Namibia in Africa, which is a crazy long distance.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why the budget of this movie is pretty large. I think it was like 150 plus, roughly, million. And what's funny is I read the movie ended up losing money overall because it made 380 million. Probably now it's made money with its, you know,
All the
streaming profits and DVD and Blu-ray sales and stuff like that. I bet it's made money now. I can guarantee it. But apparently, according to IMDb, it lost 20 to 40 million because it had a very large advertising budget. And this was the first Mad Max film that failed to turn a profit. Furiosa, Furiosa, the prequel, also kind of failed to turn a profit, which I guess I'll talk about it right now. I fucking hated that movie.
I never saw it because you told me it was bad, so I
That's
just
funny.
figured I'm not
That's
gonna
funny.
spend the time.
I've said that a lot on this podcast because like the Indiana Jones movie and a couple.
I mean, like, you know, you and I have very similar tastes and expectations, so
Yeah, that was so disappointing to me because that was at a time where movies started sucking really, really bad for me.
yeah.
And I kept seeing just horrible movies after horrible movies, and they were getting great reviews from critics and stuff, and I was just like, well, how do people like this movie? It is so bad. Like I forget the name of it, but it was the stunt movie with and it's not Drive, but the one with Ryan Gosling.
Isn't it called like
Fall Guy or The Fall Guy?
Yeah, Fall Guy.
Terrible. And like the CGI, they used a lot of CGI in Furiosa, and it was not good. And the story was just like drawn out. The first hour is she's a child, and it just drags so long. It feels like 2 hours, and then you have no care of the characters really. I don't know. It just wasn't great for me. And like that was, I gave it the benefit of the doubt to go see it because the trailer reminded me of the Fury Road trailer. I was like, man,
Yeah.
the trailer's goofy, looks weird, movie, like, I don't know if it's going to be good. And when I saw the trailer for Furiosa, I was like, I had the same feeling. I'm like, I don't know if this movie's going to be good. And then that was when I kept seeing a string of shitty movies, and I'm like, I kept getting closer and closer to the release. I'm like, this movie is going to suck. I have a feeling it's going to suck. And maybe that didn't help. And I am due for a rewatch on it. But I don't know.
Now, that was also
Probably am not going to rewatch it, honestly.
a sequel prequel that nobody asked for either. Like,
Yeah.
The franchise is Mad Max. So
I
make
know.
another movie with Tom Hardy. Like, what, I don't understand why they chose to do that. Like,
I agree.
We got her backstory in Fury Road, and it was great, and like somewhat like still mysterious. Like I don't understand why that needed to be flushed out. Like it's just like, I don't know. I think that's one of the big pitfalls that they keep falling for in Hollywood is like, oh, let's make a sequel that nobody wants,
Yeah.
and do it badly. It's like, just make the movies that people actually want.
Agreed.
Like Tom Hardy was so good in this movie.
I mean, Charlize
like,
Theron was awesome.
I mean,
and it'd
yeah.
be cool to see her again, but it was her young.
Right.
But so,
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, she's not even in Furiosa, right? So,
No.
like, why even make that movie? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But put Tom Hardy in another Mad Max movie,
I hope.
have him go on another crazy adventure. Like, that's what people want to see,
Yeah. And the problem with prequels for me is there's no stakes because
No.
you know the character's fate at the
Right.
end, and that's like, granted,
Well, especially-
most movies the main characters aren't going to die, but
Yeah.
it's you still just the stakes go from here to ground zero. Like it's
Well, and like,
non-existent.
in her character's case, like, she ends up like enslaved by Joe.
Yeah.
Like, why? That's the end of the movie. Like, it has to be canon with Fury Road, and like that ending sucks. So
Yeah.
like, why would you even make that movie? Like, it just it doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's think about like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. It's technically a prequel,
yeah.
but it's not connected in
No, it's a
any way,
totally
shape, in a
isolated
sense.
incident.
Yeah,
From
it's done well. Rogue
Yeah.
One, Star Wars. You know the
Yes.
fates of the characters, but you kind of don't. And like,
well,
when I
you
first-
know that they're gonna steal the plans.
Yes,
But-
I thought that movie was great. When
Yeah,
I first
it's
saw
awesome.
it, I didn't love it, but I've grown to love it a lot, and I think it's great and it's super well done. Like Andor, the prequel series for that, incredible. I mentioned it in our Terminator review. I have a prequel idea for Terminator that I think would be killer, and like James Cameron right now is struggling to write Terminator. I have the fucking perfect idea for a prequel. Cameron, if you're listening to this, which I know you're not, hit us up, dude. I got an idea.
And stop making Avatar. It sucks. No one cares.
A lot of people care, man. It's making $1 billion. He's got 4 movies that have made $1 billion, cracked $1 billion, which is insane.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I like James Cameron. I think he makes good movies.
I think he sucks now, but his old
That's
stuff
'cause
is
he
all
just-
good.
Yeah. But speaking of getting Tom Hardy back, he is apparently signed on for 3 movies. But who knows what's that entails. There's
Yeah.
been, because Furiosa failed at the box office, that kind of killed. There was going to be Mad Max: The Wasteland, which was going to be focused on Max. That kind of went into development hell now because it didn't make money. However, I've heard rumblings that there might be it might be turned into a TV show. Like, basically, George Miller wrote almost 3 movies when making this movie. He wrote Furiosa because it was the backstory to her, and he wrote this movie, and he wrote Mad Max: The Wasteland. Like, the script's already been done. The movie's ready to go. So I'd be curious if they end up doing that, and I will, even though Furiosa sucked, I would still see the new Mad Max.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think Furiosa was set up to fail for several reasons that we already talked about.
Yeah.
Like, your outcome is just not going to be good in the end for that movie because
Yeah.
she ends up in a shitty situation. Then what happens in Fury Road, so it's
Yeah.
like whatever. Like you said, there's 0 stakes in that prequel. Like,
And there's,
absolutely none.
There's like one sequence where she's like on a tanker and there's like kind of car mayhem, and it was just like I didn't care. Like I wasn't immersed in it.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this before. It's like I love when a movie just sinks its claws into me and grabs a hold of me, and it's like, this is a ride and we're going, whether you like it or not, and we're gonna have fun. And that's
Yeah.
what this movie is. Mad Max Fury Road is just a wild ride, and it's so fucking awesome. But also, that's another problem in and of itself. How do you make a movie that follows this that's going to be as good, if not better? Like, how do you do
Yeah.
that?
Right.
And I'm a little worried about like the new Top Gun that they're going to make. They're going to make Top Gun 3. Like, how does that going to top Maverick? Maverick was so sick.
Yeah, that's one. Let it go. Have
I
it
don't
be
know.
2 movies, and
But
you're
when
done.
you make $1
Like,
billion plus on a movie, how do you say no to more money to make more money?
I know,
That's
but
Hollywood.
like, yeah,
Yeah. Back to more facts about Fury Road. So regarding this film has such a distinct look, which is super cool. It's especially different from like dystopian films and apocalyptic films. This movie's so colorful.
yeah,
And he had 2 stipulations for making this movie. One was that the cinematography would be as colorful as possible, and obviously that's achieved. He even pulled John Seal, who's the cinematographer, out of retirement to make this movie, and it's fucking sick. And he wanted to be different than those apocalyptic movies, and then the art direction would be as beautiful as possible. Like Miller reasoned that people living in post-apocalyptic the world would try to find whatever scraps of beauty they could to meager their environment. Really cool, very different. You're doing something different. You're reinventing something, and it's makes it appealing, and I like it.
yeah. Well, and like, what's really neat about this movie that really does set it apart is like to build on that beauty idea. Like, it kind of romanticizes the dystopia, which is like super
Interesting.
cool, you know.
Yeah.
Like it looks incredible. It feels like so
It's like almost Wizard of Oz.
yes,
You know?
yeah, very much, yeah. And like sure, like everybody kind of looks like shit, and like everything kind of like all the cars are like beat to hell and like, you know, stuff, but like you've got this crazy guy on like slings ripping chords on like a flame-throwing guitar,
The Doof
surrounded by like giant speakers. Like it's this like crazy world of like total scarcity and unnecessary excess, and it's just like this really cool
Yeah.
like melding of like opposites, you know. And like, just, I don't know, it's a lot of like really low-key world building that's like done extremely well, like
Yeah.
without having to monologue for like 2 hours about like, you know, all this shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's a really interesting concept that like gas is plentiful but water is not,
Yeah.
and like that drive, guzzling, yeah. I mean, like, but like that's what like propels like the whole movie, and like what makes like the whole car like thing like you know, possible in the Mad Max universe. And like
Yeah.
it's super awesome because like who doesn't want to just rip around the desert in like a giant V8 like
Yeah.
whatever, like dune buggy like thing, or you know, whatever. Like it's super badass and fun.
Yeah. So I also read that this movie, they had like 470 hours. So Margaret Sixel is George Miller's wife in real life, and she was the editor on the film, and he wanted her to do it because he didn't want this to be like any other action movie. And that's like, this movie has like 2,700 cuts. It's insane. And that's honestly, as wild as this sounds, the editing is my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so manic and crazy, and just like, it literally, this is a movie that sinks its claws into me, like I was saying, like, and the opening sequence does that for me. I literally
Yeah.
remember sitting in the movie theater being like, holy shit, I'm in for a wild ride. This is going to be so cool. And
Yeah.
like Max's voiceover, his car crashing, like the effects of that, and then his capture, and they're tattooing on his back. There is trivia on what it all says. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. It says, day 12,045, HT 10 hands. I don't know what that means, but 180 pounds, no name, no lumps, no bumps, full life, clear, 2 good eyes, no busted limbs, piss okay, genitals intact, multiple scars, heals fast, O negative, high octane, universal donor, lone warrior, run down on the Powder Lakes, V8, no guzzling, no supplies, isolate, psychotic, keep muzzled.
Like, that's what I think. What the coolest part of that like intro is how like he's like crazy and manic, and they're like, "Oh, that's good blood. Like, we got to get that."
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it's so like weird and like, but like, yeah, like, I don't know. I love how like I was thinking about this yesterday, as I was like mentally preparing, you know, to like do the episode, and like from a writing perspective, he did a really good job of keeping all of the like elements of like language mostly intact and like culture like kind of intact, but like the places where it deviates are like enough where it's like obvious that like every, you know, like people are like out of their minds, and like you know, like there's been something lost, you know, in the period between civilization and you know this time in the movie. Like, yeah, it's just really well constructed world building, and like
yeah.
that whole part about like him getting captured, becoming the blood bag, and like all that, like the whole thing about like, oh, we're gonna go war, and like, you know, that stuff, you know, the whole like Valhalla thing, and like their like
The war
weird like
boys.
pseudo religion, yeah, for the war boys, and
Valhalla.
yeah, spraying themselves with like chrome spray paint before they die is like so weird, but like so cool.
It's like a drug, basically. It's like huffing paint.
yeah, like it's just like really cool and creative. Yeah, world building. Like, I don't know. It's just like those little details, I think, are what really put this movie like over the top.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just, yeah, those little details that all add up. It's so cool. So, you mentioned in Inception, or Inception review last week, how you kind of looked at the movie a little differently and like tried to examine it from a different lens, if you will. Did you do that with this movie, and was there anything that
Yeah, a little
kind of
bit.
stood out
Like,
to you a little bit?
I mean, we know that like you probably have it on your list of facts, but like Tom Hardy probably only says like 100 words in this movie, maybe.
I do have it. 52 lines.
Yeah. So like, you know, like this movie's I mean, from a structure and like you know, writing standpoint, like Max isn't really like the main character of the movie. Like, he is, but he also isn't. Like, Furiosa is kind of the main character, and
100%.
she's like the one that really like propels the movie forward,
Yes.
in a lot of ways. At least until the end, when Max kind of like allies with her, and then he starts, you know, it splits more to like 50-50 than the rest of the earlier parts of the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it, like, the way it's structured is awesome. Like you said, it goes from a chase to a race, which is super cool. And like, even the part where they're stuck in the like swamp, which is like the lull in the action,
Oh, I love that whole.
is awesome.
Yeah.
And well needed, you know, as a viewer. Like, you're like in like an hour straight of just like nonstop like action up until that point. So like, yeah, you need that little like brief interlude of like maybe like 5-10 minutes, and then the chase starts up again, until they, you know, you turn it back to go take the Citadel, which is like, again, like such good writing. Like, they get to their goal, which no longer exists. So then, like, what do you do? And like, that's where I think Max flips and becomes the main character again, because like, nah, we're just gonna go take it, you know.
Yeah,
Like
that's cool.
we're just gonna go back and take this out.
But then
like,
he leaves at the end, which is
Right.
cool, and we'll get to the ending. But
which is, I mean, like he's the quintessential. Like, well, I mean, in a lot of ways, he's kind of like the man with no name
the
drifter.
lonesome
That's
cowboy.
yeah, that gets caught up in situations, and he's like John McClane or
Yes.
you know, all the Clint Eastwood, you know, Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more, and the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, like it's that that Western kind of trope of like you're
Yes.
just thrown into a situation
The
and you're
drifter.
like, ah, fuck it, I'll help these people. You know,
Yeah.
like
So that's what I noticed more this time on my viewing is like he's very John McClane like, and I had just watched Die Hard. I mean, it was Christmas, and you got to watch Die Hard at Christmas.
Yeah.
Come on. And this movie it made me realize he's that reluctant hero, which is such it's such a great trope for your main protagonist. He's a reluctant hero in like the wrong place at the wrong time. Like he's like, I don't want to help. I'm just trying to go on my way. But yet he gets dragged into it, and it's
Yeah.
like the whole time he's not there. And then, like you said, his character flips, and he's like, I'm gonna help you. And it's like that's what I picked up even more so this time, where I was like, all his little like subtle things that he's doing, he's just like, I'm just, you know, a lonesome warrior. You know, and it's, I don't know, it made me enjoy the movie more like that. And every time I watch it, the editing sticks out to me, and
Yeah.
the stunts are incredible. Witness me, like come
Yeah.
on, like it's so fucking cool. And yeah, it's just so
well, and like Nicholas Holt is so good in this.
he is
like,
awesome.
He's awesome.
Yeah, I think that this was like the first movie I'd seen him in. Too.
Yeah, this is definitely one of his like earliest movies.
Yeah.
It's funny
Yeah.
because like I'm like, yeah, I obviously remember his character, but like when he first comes up on screen, I was like, huh, Lex Luthor.
Yeah. He looks so different in this
Yeah,
comparatively to Lex Luthor. I mean, they both have shaved heads, which is funny. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what got him the role. Is this
maybe.
What's cool is, you know, this movie, so Nicholas Holt and Tom Hardy, they're the only two male characters that are good.
Yeah,
All the other characters that are male are bad. They're the antagonists. And all the female characters in the movie are good characters.
mm-hmm.
And I think it's one of those movies that really does a good job with showcasing good female actresses and having them have a good storyline, which I really like. Like it's like Furiosa's such a badass in this movie. She's so fucking awesome. Like even the wives are pretty fucking cool in this movie, and like they're so great. They're not just like wimpy. Oh my god, what do I do? You know,
Yeah.
they're pretty cool. They're firing guns, and then they've got the woman clan that Furiosa was part of. I think it's like the Volvolini or something like that.
yeah,
I might be wrong, but I think that's what it is. They are awesome in this, and like, yeah, it's just so. It's a really well done, female empowered, and like female driven movie.
yeah, and like we talked about this with Alien 2 or Aliens, that like more recently, female like lead action leads like suck like a lot of times.
Yeah.
And like they're not compelling. They're trying to be men instead of being a woman that's doing action. Like, you know, one of the reasons why Ripley is such a compelling character in Alien and Aliens is because she's actually portrayed as a woman fighting for survival. Like, not a woman trying to act like a man and like, you know, murder a bunch of people or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
and like that's where I think Furiosa is written so well, because she is a badass, but she's also like vulnerable and like caring and like emotional for the Joe's, you know, captives that she's trying to save. You know, like she's not a cold and like uncaring action hero like John Matrix or you know, whatever, you know, like,
Yeah.
and like in a lot of ways that's at least for a lot of the movie, you know, Max is very cold and uncaring, you know.
Yeah.
He kind of, you know, turns the corner near the end, but like that's how you write like a good female action lead, you know. Like, again, I don't know how Hollywood continually forgets like a lot of
Yeah.
these good examples are out there, you know. It's like,
And it's so simple. I mean, again, like the reluctant hero, you have that in Aliens with
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver not
Right.
wanting to go to the alien planet, and like then she's coerced into it. It's like the hero's journey. It's just take those simple stories and you can be female, you can be male, and it's great. And like
yeah,
both characters have such a good journey in this movie, and it's so cool because the whole plot's simple, but they have this, you know, hope. They're looking for hope and redemption, and
yeah,
like that is kind of the fundamentals of their characters, of what they go through for their journey. And it's like Furiosa's trying to escape, and she has hope, and then she loses it, and she gets it back with Max trying to go back to the Citadel, which is cool. And
well, and that part is so well done because it's the inversion where
Yeah.
through the whole first part of the movie, Furiosa's the one with hope and Max is the, you know, doomsayer. And then when they finally get there and they see that, you know, nothing's there, Max is the one that steps up and he's like, nah, like we got this. We're gonna go and everyone's gonna be all right, you know.
and it's the irony of that too that's really good, because it's like, well, you're trying to escape the place you've been imprisoned your entire life. Let's go back there and make that your home again.
Yeah.
But you're rebelling and you're fighting the man, you know, the proverbial man, and you know, Immortan Joe, who is awesome in this movie. He played
Yeah.
Toe Cutter in Mad Max, the first Mad Max, and he is so awesome in this movie. And like the villains, all the villains are so unique and so cool and interesting, and like you've got
And weird. So weird.
so weird. You got the big dude that's like from
Like elephant guy or whatever with like
who's got pierced
nipple
nipples.
pierces. The chain.
Yeah, he's weird. And then the bullet
The-
guy, the bullet farmer,
Yeah.
who's like the judge, jury, and executioner, who's got the bullet like bandana, and that guy who gets his, you know, he gets his eyes
Blown
from the
up
light,
part, yeah.
which is so cool. Like, and also that's another thing I like is Furiosa's a better shot than Max, which
Yeah.
is so cool, and it just adds to Max's frustration with everything, and her character is just so cool and calm and like collected in a sense. And
Well, and that's a good like moment where their like partnership, I think, is solidified like in that moment, you know, which is an awesome way to kind of show that, you know.
yeah, there's
It's like
a bunch
he's
of
trying to,
different
like-
sequences like that.
Yeah, like that's like the big one where he's like willingly like hands the gun to her and is like, you do it, you know.
Well, he does it before that too, when they're leaving the canyon, and she's like, "You got to do like this sequence 1, 2,
Yeah.
2, 1," you know, and he's driving that. That sequence is my absolute favorite part of the movie.
Yeah,
Like
that's an awesome
the
part.
music in the movie is so incredible, and like
Mm-hmm.
it's so exciting, and him just like shooting out the window and her shooting, and like I like when the one biker guy comes up on there. He's like, "We had a deal," and he just literally like turns and shoots the guy with like barely even looking.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. Yeah, I mean the action in this movie is so so freaking awesome. Um, yeah, I mean, it's. I'm just looking at my notes, and it's just like they're just me being like, all right, this is crazy. Like, it's just like I have a note in here, be like, now we're cooking. Like, hell yeah,
Yeah.
like this is sick. Yeah, and then the after, I love the sequence where Max goes to kill the judge, jury, and executioner. Like they're in that track car, and he goes to kill him, and you don't see him. They're not focusing on him because he's not the main character, which is cool. And then you just see the explosion in the background, and he just comes back, and he's covered in blood, and they're like, "You're bleeding." And she's like, "That's not,
It's not
his,
his
blood.
blood. Yeah.
And like, that part is so cool.
Yeah.
And that's just the movie. It's just like the whole movie. It's just so cool. And like, yeah, he and him caring for her at the end and giving his blood is cool. And it's like he finally reveals his name.
Good circular writing.
Yeah.
Close the gap on the blood bag thing and make it have a payoff in the end.
Yep. Something so little has a good payoff. Yeah. So this production was like crazy and grueling, and they really had Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron had no idea really what kind of movie they were making, because it was shot so weird. And like when they started doing screenings for this movie, the movie had no middle or no beginning and no end. So like people were really worried this movie wasn't going to do well. And then they put the beginning in and the end in, and they're like, "Oh shit, okay, this movie's awesome." And Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy often fought significantly on this movie. There's a lot of news articles out there about them not liking each other. They have since buried the hatchet, but like there was news that Tom Hardy would show up to set late, and he was kind of a prick, and he would question everything that George Miller would do, and that was just because he's an actor, and he's like, I need to know how this character thinks and acts. And after Tom Hardy saw the movie at Cannes, he publicly, in an interview, like sincerely apologized to George Miller. It's crazy. It's in the special features on the movie, and like it does his whole like apology speech. And George in that behind the scenes feature was like, I like loved that he did that, and that was really appreciative. And he just was like, he was blown away and like super happy about that, and it really like helped validate the success of the movie and everything. And yeah, just like it's such a great movie, and yeah, I mean I can only imagine doing that production, especially like I said, 470 hours of footage. It took 3 months for the editor Margaret to watch the footage. 3 months.
Yeah.
And again, they did almost all those practical stuff. Like that's just crazy. This movie is just so awesome, so well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got for it? That's pretty much the brunt of my trivia for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, the only other technical thing that I wanted to talk about that I had noticed previously, but like specifically paid more attention to this time, is like in the most frantic sequences, it seems like they shot with like a different frame rate or something, because it's like the picture is like just on the verge of like stuttering, like it's not smooth, like clearly on purpose, but like I thought that was like so cool and like so genius, and like it just keeps everything like really like frantic and like manic.
Yes. Yeah. I can't. The cinematography and editing in this movie are, again, that's like two of my favorite things. The editing is so incredibly good. And it's funny, when I see movies, there's certain movies that I see and I'm like, wow, the editing in it's as funny as it sounds, it always sticks out to me. I'm like, the editing in this movie is so well done. And this I remember seeing this in theaters, thinking that, being like, wow, this is crazy, and it's just crazy for a movie like this to win 6 Oscars.
Yeah.
It's number
Yeah.
185 on IMDb's top 250. That's kind of how we picked this list of movies we're doing from our favorites, because we wanted to do one, our common favorites, and that's the list we looked at. We're like, which ones are kind of the most ones that we've loved and watched together.
We
But
did
I think-
a lot of our favorites already in
Yeah.
the 80s segment of this show. So yeah, we
Yeah.
were trying to find some of the more modern ones.
Yes.
Like, yeah, this is for sure
Yeah.
way up there.
I think this should be higher on the list from 185. It should be like 15. Is what I think. Like, I mean, Inception was is higher than this movie, and I
Yeah.
think this movie is arguably it's a completely different movie.
Yeah.
But I think I'd watch this way more than I'd watch Inception, hands down.
Yeah, I mean, like you talked about the rewatchability of this
Yeah.
early on in the episode, and like I couldn't agree more. And like I think what makes this movie so rewatchable is that there are no plot twists, there are no like big reveals, there are no like there's nothing that's gonna like ruin this movie for you to watch like 200 times. Like, you know, you're gonna have a kick-ass time watching it, and like you just want to watch like some crazy shit, and like that's what you get. Like, you don't like it. It's just like it's fun while also being a like serious movie, which is like hard to do well.
Yeah. Yeah. I just love the ending of Furiosa kind of like getting her victory and ascending to the top of the Citadel, and she kind of like looks around and is like, "Where's Max?" Because she doesn't see him with him, doesn't see him with her, and she looks down and sees him in the crowd, and the focus on him is so cool, and him just like looking at her and going, and like that
Yeah,
nod,
just nods. Yeah.
and then blends into, just escapes into the crowd. That ending is so awesome, and then like the upbeat, the drums, like the triumphant drums for the background soundtrack is. This ending is it's. I gave it. I mean, it's a 5. It's one of my top favorite movies. It's a 5 out of 5. It's on my IMDb or my Letterboxd top 5 4 movies that I have on there, and it's the first word that comes to my mind with my review for it is masterpiece,
Yeah.
because it just, as simple as it is, it's a masterpiece. It's like, how do you make a movie like that? And again, that brings me to like, how can you, like, I don't know if I need a sequel. I mean, I'd love one because I
Yeah.
think it's so cool, but can it be topped? I don't think so. I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think the simplicity of it from a plot perspective, I think, gave him like an immense amount of freedom to like go wild with every other aspect of the movie and just like
Yeah.
make it, like I said, impeccable. And like it really is.
Yeah, and you don't want to just remake it and do another huge chase
Right,
movie with
yeah.
like, and it's like, how is that? You got to find something that's going to be a good hook.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love this movie. I'm excited to talk about our next week's movie, which is Snatch, one of my all-time also favorite movies. Huge fan of that movie. And I was thinking about it. This month we've done like some of my like all these actors are my favorite actors. You've got Leonardo DiCaprio, you got Tom Hardy, you got Brad Pitt in the next one, and then you got Matt Damon in the following one. I mean, obviously DiCaprio and Wahlberg
Again,
and stuff like
yeah.
that. But like those are like the top actors for our generation, I'd say.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and like I mentioned it in Inception, is I would follow these actors religiously to see what movies they're coming out with, and like it's cool to go back and watch all these movies. So I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome. All right, guys. So thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week with Snatch.
Yeah, see ya.